Hello there, thank you so much for joining us on yet another exciting episode of The Digest. My name is Francesca. Now, 2015 can be remembered as the year when Zambia started experiencing the longest hours of load shedding of even up to 8 hours a day. While some of us may have complained of how cooking using charcoal was a hassle, an 18-year-old Zambian inventor by the name of Arnold Nyendwa was thinking of a solution. Fast forward to 2021, 25-year-old Arnold invented Africa's first stainless steel stove. This invention aims to reduce the adverse effects of charcoal and wood stoves and addresses the lack of electricity supply in a cost-effective manner. Arnold's invention has won him multiple awards all over the world. Based in Lusaka, Zambia, Arnold is the CEO and co-founder of Ventura's Jumpstart. This is the story of a young Zambian who never gave up on his dream despite facing a number of challenges. Take a look. Innovation is the unrelenting drive to break the status quo and develop anew where few have dared to go. So goes the saying. One of Zambia's few known innovators, Arnold Nyendwa, has done just that by being an entrepreneur and inventor who pioneered the first stainless steel stove in Africa. Inspired by personal and family experience in Zambia, 25-year-old Arnold's invention aims to reduce the adverse effects, the lack of electricity supply in a cost-effective manner. But how did Arnold Nyendwa's invention journey begin?
When I was in grade 12, that time I think what hit it bad with the load shedding. So I was seated down in my class and I was thinking of something like a build that won't use power. And at that particular moment, I think I built something like, which I called the Juvin brazier at first, that would cook, bake, fry, roast, warm and dry without using power. So from there, I think getting to university, I started getting serious, mostly when I got a first partnership after 7 months in South Africa with Southern Africa Stainless Steel Development Association. So I'll travel every summer to be able to just build on the innovation. I was being exposed to the new industry, the stainless steel industry, for about 3 years, mentorship. So that kind of grew, and seeing what was happening around the industries in South Africa, and that's how my interest grew big, and I kept on improving myself and learning. So that's how, until we improved it further, getting different collaborations from South Africa, getting back home here, building the first stainless steel stove in Africa that is powered on LPG gas, electricity and solid fuel, with collaborations from South Africa to China until back here again, and now in Europe and Switzerland. So that's kind of has been like a journey. I think I've grown up to seeing most of the entrepreneurs we have around Africa, even back home here. It's we don't really own our own economies. Mostly it's a different story. Maybe when we go to Nigeria, we see Nigerians owning factories, Nigerians are owning banks and the likes. So kind of that used to trouble me. So like, why is everything not happening? Every problem we have until we want to wait for foreign solutions. So I kind of thought of something that if we can build our own solutions based on our own problems, they can impact the world on the other side. And also the solutions that are on the other side, they can just complement us, and we can also make collaborations, connect with the other side and see how best we can improve them where we're limited. So I think that kept on making me to drive, to keep on driving, the drive to see that I should be able to get there at that level, say I should make a difference not only back home here in Zambia, but I think it should be something for a long, long time. I've always looked at how best will I make a product that won't only be an influence to Zambia, but to the rest of the world. So I think that's the whole journey that led me also just to come even here at work.
Arnold obtained a bachelor's degree in development studies from Mulungushi University in 2020, but didn't think of applying for a job because he had other dreams to fulfill. the increased frequency of load shedding and his concern about respiratory diseases such as asthma, which are worsened by using charcoal, wood, and other wooden cooking devices, especially in marginalized areas, influenced his stove invention, which performs 8 functions, thereby making it multifunctional and cost-effective. The stove allows a user to cook, bake, fry, roast, dry, fry, smoke, and warm food items. It interestingly allows the user with 3 energy sources to pick from: electricity, gas, and pellets. His company, Venture's Jumpstart, aims to become Zambia's and Africa's leading technology company in the stainless steel industry and provide solutions for energy and other productive projects and services to low-income households. Venture's Jumpstarts contributes to development within Zambia and promotes the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by providing stainless stoves and empowering marginalized households. Arnold has won multiple awards within and outside Zambia, inclusive of International Stainless Steel Award in South Africa in 2018, certifying the stove as a world-class product, the Global Student Entrepreneur Award 2020, Moapepia Awards as the most outstanding entrepreneur, the award ceremony which was held in New York, USA in 2020. And Arnold came at the top in a total of 50 finalists worldwide.
You've also won several international awards as a result of your innovation. Has that changed who you are? Has that inspired you to do even more, to be a better entrepreneur, a better innovator?
Interesting part about awards, they are really good having awards, but sometimes awards can act as a distraction to more especially the founders of companies, because the news and the media sometimes and also the awards can excite you. But that has changed my life in a number of ways, because I've been able to finance certain movements or certain things within my company, Ventura's Jumpstart, through the same awards. It has also given us a lot of credibility as a company, and a lot of people wanting to associate with us. And of course, it's just bringing new opportunities towards the work once you win an award.
The journey to success has not always been about winning. Arnold has also faced a number of challenges along the way.
Yes, it's a very, very big challenge for every innovator and inventor who is out there, mostly when you're building a product, and mostly it's in its ideation stages, because other people are thinking you're just talking from without, or you're talking about things that they can't see. It's only you is having that image. So for people to believe in it, to get the resources, if there's the most expensive part of any business is to build an idea completely so that people can see it and can believe in it. I think that process takes a lot of money than even some businesses that some people pump in capital, because for instance, in the aspect of building the stoves, there are issues to do with flights, accommodation, if you're wanting to collaborate with other engineers who are really expertise, consultation, factory time, and the like. So you find that you'd spend really money that you would use for any other normal businesses that I would do here. So that process, the finances, of course, also most of the businesses that we have, we see people always, they'll go into mining, they'll build a hotel, a lodge, they'll invest in oil and the likes. That's a common businesses that has been there old school. Not really something sustainable that will live for generation, even if I'm not longer there tomorrow. So I think getting to that space completely, that is much happening in the US and Europe and Asia. So it's kind of a very, very hard one, honestly, where we can't even today point out really a Zambian idea that is there. Like, that's a Zambian product, really, really big product there. So that space really is kind of consuming and really challenging. The first challenge was getting to kind of work with other people from another country, mostly the whites, and there's a big expertise, and you need to challenge them, and sometimes there are certain things, theories that they believe this can't work, and in innovation you have to prove it that it can work. That was one of the challenges, the new culture. The other challenge was that coming from Zambia, I had not really, there was no person I would look up to really in that space, most of the stainless steel industry, building products and the likes. No history of that. That was me. But of the two challenges that I really faced so bad, I almost felt like, oh, is this thing really going to work out? I think it's about when I lost about 2 deals. The first one was about a 1.2 million deal. After everything was all done and things just shut, the second one also was another deal for a factory. I think that was to do also with the second project. Also kind of like it shut after making a decision almost up to signing. So there's always also this aspect when you're a young person and they would underestimate you and thinking unless you're old, that's when you can do it. But I think it's been full of lessons, and I picked up from there, and I said I have to keep on going because I believed in what I was doing, and other people also believed in what I was doing. I got a deal in South Africa. So this deal was to manufacture everything in South Africa and bring some pieces here, and also build a business also in South Africa, especially in Johannesburg and Cape Town, to ensure that we grow the businesses on both ends. And suddenly things slowed down and couldn't happen. So despite that, I still got that deal, I think, when I was in school. Then the second deal was like, okay, this thing has failed. I think I spoke to one of the government ministries, I won't mention them, signed a 1.2 and the PS approved everything, the youth fund and the likes, and the directors sat on it and things happen like that. So it's something that I would say it did happen and things couldn't work out. The last one I think was for pillows. I meet these investors and they're all set, tomorrow we need to sign it. He just gives you a call because there's another Zambian who has gone behind, and he says the other things, and he says he's young and the likes, maybe don't sign. Some good amount of money also. It doesn't happen. But I didn't realize that there was something that was happening. One of my prayers, I think I prayed for so many years, I was telling myself, I'd say, I don't want just to end up to be a Zambian businessman or a Zambian influential businessman. I remember for so many times I've always prayed that prayer. So missing those deals, it made me feel bad because I felt like I was losing when other people were making it out there. But I didn't notice what I had asked for. And that's, I think, what came through now in February, now sealing those deals across the European mainstream market and the US mainstream, now playing in the major business world with the actual major companies. So I think that space, it's also, I think it's how best you have set yourself and what you have been working towards through your heart desires, because God also gives you the heart desires, and you might find that other things might go and to make you strong and probably to prepare you for more, for better things. So it doesn't mean when you don't get something today, it's the end of the road. It might be a saying to say there's something more better for you than this, or just for a certain reason and lessons to be learned. So I think that's what I picked up from there, to say, I think it wasn't in line with what probably I wanted in my heart, and that's what I believed in. Those were the lessons that I learned. So in the first stages, I think my dad has been really supportive. I think the first time when I was even moving from high school, he called me and it was like, what do you want to do about this idea? And I think that was the time when we started talking about how best I want to go into business, because him has been in this workspace, much of it, including my mother. So I said, I think in as much as I'm going to school, to university, going to still do a degree, but I think I want to take this path. But of course, there's been patience. There's been a lot that has been happening around, some ups and downs, sometimes you just feel frustrated. So that support system from mom and dad being there and to support, and I think also the support just started some more time back, because I remember even in university I would miss sometimes classes, I would miss exams, and I would have my own because also the institution understood what I was doing. So the support system wasn't just from my family, from also where I went. I built, I think, that character of people knowing what I've been doing over the years and the like. So friends, of course, I've got a very good support system of a lot of friends starting from high school, and also different people I've had. The media has been there to support also just to keep this. I think that's also what has influenced them knowing much about Zambian innovations. There are also other young people now, they have also identified different young, brilliant people are doing amazing things, probably even some of them better than what I'm doing. So that aspect, I think the media also, we saw very recently also putting up of the Ministry of Science and Technology. So they have seen, because it's been a whole lot of this journey. So I think that's what I can say, that the support system there. It's been full of lessons, and I picked up from there, and I said I have to keep on going because I believed in what I was doing, and other people also believed in what I was doing, and also the team that I had, support system and the family. So that kept on going, and I said I'm not doing this for my own. I might not only be here to solve a problem for the next person who might want to be looking up to me. So always when I wake up, I always know that it's not just about me, it's about also the other people whom I can meet in future, or some who are looking up to me. So I think those are the things that also kept me going despite those fall downs.
The stainless steel stove is not the only thing Arnold recently invented. He has also invented a washable mattress that is easily folded and washed at the convenience of the user. It has special features such as non-movable pillows, side pockets, a foldable light bag, and provides ease to walk around with it. He also created a pillow that one can dry clean without washing it. Arnold Nyendwa is looking forward to expanding his stainless steel tech company in Africa and the world. His goal is to start exporting across borders within and outside Africa. Arnold's ideas as an inventor have had to use technical support to move them to the next stage. And one organization that has supported Arnold is Women's Entrepreneurship Access Center, WEAC. WEAC was established in 2015 June, initially as We Create, but rebranded 3 years ago with its new strategy in enhancing economic women's empowerment through entrepreneurship.
So we are basically a center that provides both a virtual and physical platform to grow entrepreneurial activity, mainly focusing on supporting majority female-owned businesses, but also with a very strong focus on youth. So our key focus area is to address some of the barriers that startups, entrepreneurs and SMEs face in starting and growing a profitable and sustainable business. We identify our youth and women through various means. We have programs that are offered across 3 stages, from early stage and startup. Then we have the middle stage of support, which is a pre-acceleration and MVP stage. Then finally we have the established or growth-oriented stage, where we basically support a whole range of investment spectrum, from capital raising to profitable exit. And that's specifically focusing on helping entrepreneurs and startups to successfully raise capital. So we work through those 3 stages, but every stage is tailored to address specific needs in specific markets, and this is why we also focus on supporting innovation ecosystems, because we know that that's where it matters the most. That is where you can grow businesses that are more profitable. If we can support originality of business, if we can support ideation, but also if we can support validation of ideas and support commercialization of those businesses, then that is likely to increase the odds of success even as an idea or an entrepreneur goes to market. our engagement with Arnold has been an interesting one. It started 3 years ago through a process of identifying, innovators in the market who we felt needed an opportunity to be part of a support system, where they could be mentored through the process of a process as upcoming innovators. So one of the programs that we run called the City Micro Entrepreneurship Award, we dropped a call for applications looking for young innovators, women entrepreneurs that were in industries that are particularly difficult to penetrate and commercialize. And specifically, we were focusing on supporting access to seed capital through that intervention. And so we came across Arnold because we were extremely impressed by what he was doing in the Zambian market. Quite a very young, resilient, hardworking, never giving up type of person. And those are the kind of people that we're looking for. Those are the innovators that we're looking to work with. And so it gave us an opportunity to really understand what it takes to support any innovator that is looking to get a breakthrough in an extremely difficult environment. It also gave us an opportunity to think more critically about how young people could intentionally be supported through the innovation efforts, because we know that it's very difficult for them to get any form of visibility or raise any form of capital. So our interest was really also to begin growing a pipeline of similar innovators to see how they can be supported, especially in this very specific industry of, the energy industry is upcoming. It's one of the sectors that has been identified as a high impact, sector that has the potential, to grow profitable businesses. So the idea was also to expose him, to different opportunities that will enable him to develop a good product that can be tested even on the international market. And this is how, through the CMA program, we realized that we needed to work with him more closely and also provide him a better platform for him to grow his innovation. So together with our partners, Solar Impulse Foundation, which is offering opportunities for young innovators within the impact industry, particularly within green solutions, to be supported through a process of acquiring a label. Solar Impulse Foundation is looking to certify about 1,000 solutions in the green economy sector, and Arnold's innovation was one of them. And so we worked with him through a process, a very rigorous process that required a lot of back and forth, one-on-one coaching and mentoring. And through that process, I think he really got his product to a level, where he got good validation. And so that is how we connected, and it's been an extremely empowering platform, I believe, for innovators such as him, as well as others in the market.
Okay, you've clearly explained, the role that you played in Arnold's success. What would you say is one of the most, valuable things that an entrepreneur could think of in terms of, could be short-term or long-term, because sometimes certain businesses don't look like they'll be viable at the beginning and may end up giving up on a good idea. What do you think an entrepreneur should have to push their dream?
Right. So one of the most important aspects that we look at, which we think is very critical to the success of any startup or entrepreneur, we look at two sides: developing the business, but also developing the team. And all our programs are tailored to critically support those two areas, because sometimes, even as enterprise support organizations, we focus more on supporting the business operations side of things. So we focus on the business. Yes, we can take them through, all these trainings, around how to build a business model that's sustainable, developing sustainable revenue models, which is critical and most important. But I think focusing on areas such as building resilient teams, resilient founders, is also an equally critical aspect. And this is why we have programs that are different, because we trade off, in between the two to ensure that we're looking at supporting entrepreneurs and innovators to be more resilient in their approach, to withstand some of the pressures, the challenges that they face in making decisions about their product, about how their product can position better in the market. And I think also entrepreneurs need to think about the long-term sustainability of their product. And I always say that when you think about innovation beyond today, beyond tomorrow. Think about your value proposition and how it's going to stand 10 years, 5 years, 10 years from now, and be open to being adaptive. And I think that's what I find most interesting with innovators such as Arnold, because every time he's reinventing himself, he's open to new ideas. His team is very coachable. And I think for me that's very exciting, especially for young entrepreneurs, that they should be open to making adaptations along the way. And this is how they encounter opportunities. But most important, they must be ready to meet the opportunity. They must be ready to put in the time, invest their skills, and also ensure that along the way they are developing a good foundation for business sustainability. And that's what has been most impressive about Arnold. He's very hardworking. He's committed to the process, and he's willing to put in 100% even before he can get any support from partners such as ourselves. It's really an extremely proud moment for us as we are looking at where he's coming from. He has scooped a number of awards, and sometimes it's sad to note that most of them are coming out of the country. There's a lot of recognition from external ecosystems more than there is here, and it's a little bit discouraging for innovators. But I'm also happy that this is an area that is looking up very positively. I think we have a lot of supporting partners such as the National Business Technology Center, NTBC. I hope I'm getting that right. There's also a lot of attention now and focus on how we can create a better innovation ecosystem for upcoming startups and entrepreneurs like Arnold. So for us, I think him scooping the Solar Impulse Award has been a very proud moment, and looking at how he has traded through and maneuvered through originality. Creating something original is not an easy task, especially when you have to face challenges such as validation of your product, taking it to market, and doing that market research that helps you to get a good indicator that this is a product that will survive. Secondly, I think the manufacturing industry is not very favorable in Zambia currently, especially for young innovators like Arnold. So we are looking at him being a trailblazer and a good example, that it is possible once you put your mind to something, you get the right amount of support, and also you give it your best stab to ensure that whatever you're developing is something that can compete beyond the local market. Because as you know, Zambia is small, there are more opportunities regionally. And he has focused on designing beyond the Zambian market. And this is why his innovation has also attracted a lot of attention. It's original, it's sustainable, it's impact driven, and it has the potential to benefit so many people and so many communities.
Looking at his drive, where would you see his innovations taking him, 5 years from now as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I think I have so much hope, not only for Arnold, but for young innovators and startups in Zambia. We are seeing a lot come out of this country, which is a good indication that we are moving away, from just being comfortable with trading, but that we are also focusing more on developing products that are originated by Zambians, especially young Zambians, which is very, very encouraging. So 5 years from now, I think I see Arnold really taking this to the next level. as an innovation ecosystem driver, a mentor for many young people, but I also see his products reinventing and really taking a shape that provides real validation and opportunity for business-to-business opportunities. For example, it provides also other pathways to innovators and manufacturers who are looking to grow in this industry. So 5 years from now, we are very confident that we'll be looking at a product that has scaled beyond the Zambian market, and I'm also looking to see other product lines that he will add, which I think will be great to see, and we're happy to support that all the way.
Arnold's success has not all been smooth sailing, and having a good support system is what kept him going.
There's been a lot that has been happening around, some ups and downs. Sometimes you just feel frustrated, so that support system from mom and dad being there and to support, and I think also the support just started some more time back, because I remember even in university I would miss sometimes classes, I would miss exams, and I would have my own because also the institution understood what I was doing. So the support system wasn't just for my family, for me also where I went. I built, I think, that character of people knowing what I've been doing over the years and the like. So friends, of course, I've got a very good support system of a lot of friends starting from high school, and also different people I've had. The media has been there to support also just to keep this. I think that's also what has influenced them knowing much about Zambian innovations. There are also other young people now, they have also identified different young brilliant people are doing amazing things, probably even some of them better than what I'm doing. So that aspect, I think the media also, we saw very recently also putting up of the Ministry of Science and Technology. So they have seen, because it's been a whole lot of this journey. So I think that's what I can say, that support system there. So 5 years from now, I'm saying the stove, mostly the stove. Yeah, it's going to be in Europe. It's going to be in Europe, Africa. Yeah. 5 years from now, it's going to create also an influence from the other side. Because over the years, it's been Zambian, European products, Western products coming here on. So I'm seeing that happening also, like we're going to take it there through partnerships and collaboration. So I'm seeing that happening very soon. I think I had a it's very important for any young person to have a well laid out plan. This plan, most people might refer to it as maybe impossible, or maybe trying to act in some other way, but it's very important to have dreams, which we call dreams. If you dream to say, tomorrow I want to be president, or in future I want to be this, you have to work towards that. So I think I had this laid out plan somewhere way back in grade 11, 12, 10. So I had this plan to say, I'm going to go in the business world. But sometimes, again, I didn't know what I'm going to do, but so it's that kind of a search. So when I completed, the time I was in grade 12, I built up this product. And after just 7 months to 9 months, I only stayed inside for 9 months, a well laid out plan. Immediately after school, I started producing the stoves. I would sell. By then, I think we were in top of belt. Getting into university, I continued that. So I would even move during the weekends. I'll move and deliver the products. I'll go to the copper belt. So I've never been employed, like having a full-time job. Because I think at any point, to any young person or any person out there, I think I'm at a stage right now where I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I think that's what's really, really important, to really enjoy what you're doing, because even if sometimes it's not going to pay you, or the monies are not going to come just there and then, you're going to keep on going. Because that's what is really important, to be at peace and to be at a point where you really enjoy what you're doing, and that will keep you moving. So I think from there, I would encourage any young person, despite whether you're coming from or out from university as a graduate, you're coming from high school, just completed grade 12, do and pursue what you want. You do not need to be validated based on a degree or validated based on until you completed school. Even those who haven't yet completed school, you have a skill. You can work towards your skill and change things. We have had people, the Bill Gates, the Mark Zuckerberg, who dropped out even in university and they went to pursue their dreams, and today they're running the world. So it's about what you get, but of course keep on acquiring information, knowledge, and getting more information about what you're doing and what you're working towards, and to build yourself into a better person. But having a paper, it's not having a paper, it's not a limitation or end of your life, or because you didn't get a sponsorship. Maybe it might be a calling of God telling you to go in that space where you are supposed to be. And sometimes it might not be a straight thing that you know exactly what you want to do. It might be until when you're wondering and you find your passion along the way as you are searching to do what you want to do.
Arnold's story is inspiring indeed, and it is a true reflection of the saying that goes, ask not what your country can do for you, but rather what you can do for your country. A young Zambian youth who is not seeking employment, but creating it and being a part of the solution to some of our country's biggest challenges of unemployment, load shedding, and climate change. A few weeks ago, Arnold was made an official member of the World Alliance for Efficient Solutions. Congratulations to the young lad as he embarks on this life-changing journey. Did you like the story? Give us your feedback and also tell us what other stories are there to tell in your communities. Stories that you feel have an impact on our everyday lives. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can email us at documentaries@diamondtvzambia.com. From myself and the rest of the crew, thank you for watching. Goodbye.